Hi, we are team number one and we're going to present the Scarlet Ibis history. This story was written by James Horst. Let's talk a little bit about him. He was born in Jacksonville, North Carolina on January 1st, 1922. He changed his mind on what he wanted to do with his life more than once. We can see this because he first studied chemical engineering at the North Carolina State College, but then he served in World War II, and all his life changed. After serving in war, he decided that he would become an opera singer. He studied and practiced in the United States of America and in Italy to be an opera singer. He continued for several years until he thought that he had no talent for it. So he became a banker with a lot of money, job in which he finally settled and worked for more than 3 decades. James Horst never dedicated completely to write literary works, but he wrote some short stories during his free time. The Scarlet Ibis was one of these short stories that he wrote, and probably one of the most famous. Scarlet Ibis takes its title from a tropical bird rarely found in the coasts of North Carolina, where the story takes place. The lush natural environment of this setting is prominent in the story. In addition to the ibis, Horst uses the local names of the plants for their symbolic associations. For example, in the story, bleeding tree is mentioned, a type of pine that oozes a white sap when cut. Graveyard flowers are also present in the story, and these are fragrant wild gardenias often planted in cemeteries because they bloom year after year. The story develops in a house that is surrounded by a natural environment, so it probably develops in a rural area. Another detail that supports the idea is the fact that they have cotton fields around the area. Now let's talk a little bit about the main characters. Narrator. He was ashamed of having an invalid brother. Deep inside him, he loved Doodle, but he wanted to teach him normal actions that normal people can do, so he wouldn't feel that he was the brother of a person who couldn't walk, swim, run, and all those things. So, in some way, the narrator was proud of Doodle, but he also helped Doodle for his self-satisfaction. Doodle. He was born with some difficulties, in the sense that people thought he was going to die. When the family started to see that he didn't pass away, they all knew that his health conditions were not going to be the best. His real name was William Armstrong, and the reason why he was named Doodle is that, according to the narrator, he looked like a doodle bug by the way he crawled backwards when he was a baby. Everyone except Aunt Nicey agreed with the nickname. Aunt Nicey. She believed that the fact that Doodle, or William Armstrong, was still alive was kind of a miracle. She had religious thoughts around this idea, such as the belief that Doodle would become a saint. Daddy. He was not mentioned as much as Doodle in the story, but based in some of the actions that he makes, it can be inferred that he is a man that is worthy by his family. Mama. As well as Daddy, she was mentioned several times, but not as much as Doodle. It can be inferred that she is concerned with the health of Doodle, as well as she is concerned by the well-being of the rest of the family. The story surrounds the relationship among two brothers, which one of them is invalid, whose name is Doodle. Time passes and Doodle never learns to walk, swim, run, or do any normal activity due to his physical impossibilities. The other brother is ashamed of having an invalid brother, so for his own pride, he teaches Doodle to walk and do other activities. But what he doesn't realize is that he is sometimes pushing Doodle to a level in which Doodle struggles to go forward. Yeah, Doodle dies at the end. The literary element that was analyzed during the reading of the story were symbols. Although there are only one of the several literary elements found in the Scarlet Ibis, they are one of the most important. They usually stand for a person, animal, place, object, or activity. They are used to emphasize ideas, and they are also used to determine the theme of the story. They have to be analyzed to identify which ideas the symbols try to communicate. The reading comprehension strategy required for this reading was the making of inferences. You might ask, in what consists the elaboration of inferences while reading a story? First, the meaning of the word inference need to be taken into consideration. Inferences means a logical guess, so this strategy may help us readers to try to guess what will happen next in the story or what the character really meant. Making inferences may help from identifying the relationships among characters to identify which is the theme of the literary work. To conclude, The Scarlet Ibis is an interesting story, mostly by the way that it incorporates the use of symbols to transmit the message or the theme. The theme of The Scarlet Ibis itself is also a fundamental element of why its story is interesting. Besides, the plot of the story is also good.